Hey everyone, welcome back to the third edition of the Toolbox Talk from the Field. I'm Lucy, and we have Maria here, and now we're also with
Ryan Windsor with MP System, Branch 2.
Alright, so have you ever had any personal experience with cold stress?
Yes, I've had personal experience, and I've witnessed other people with the signs and symptoms of frostbite. Myself, I crashed a snowmobile when I was younger, snowmobiling past my talent level, breaking the windshield off, and actually freezing the front of my neck.
That sounds very painful. How was that experience?
It actually wasn't that painful. I was more thinking about the ride, but the next day it became painful. It was white when it first happened when I got back to the hotel, and the next day the skin actually came off it and left me looking like I was choked.
You said you have some personal experience with other people at work that dealt with cold stress?
Yeah, years ago I used to work with some Canadians, and when it got super cold, we all wanted to go home and they wanted to keep working. So they did work in the cold, and when we came back the next day, two of them actually froze their noses and lost all the skin off their nose from working in the cold.
Sounds very painful.
I'm sure it wasn't pleasant.
Hey, so Ryan, did you notice any symptoms leading up to that frostbite that you experienced?
When I had mine, it felt like rope burn on my neck, but I was had to get back to where we were going, and it did go numb. And like I said, it wasn't until I got back in the warm when I realized how painful it really was and how damaged it was.
Yeah, I mean, there's some important things with the trauma that you had, with the snowmobile and everything you probably didn't realize, but a lot of people, when they're exposed to the wind, you've got a lot of other factors out there. You usually have redness of the skin, you're shivering like crazy, and that's your body's mechanism to actually warm yourself up. If you're shivering uncontrollably, that's a kind of a symptom right there that you should probably get in. But when you're working up in the bucket, you might not have those things because you're actively working. Is there stuff that you take precaution with as far as when you're actively working and you might not have your mind on being cold?
If it's that cold, to have your partner actually watching. If your partner notices you shaking, and you're going to start dropping things, because in our work, your hands are the first to freeze. So if your hands stop functioning, you are getting to that point where you need to come down.
Yep, that's key, having a partner watch you, for sure. Other signs and symptoms of frostbite or cold illness is, anytime your skin is exposed, and like we said, the redness, you want to make sure that you're getting back inside, taking those frequent breaks, right? And then if you do have some of the symptoms of frostbite, you're not putting any heat onto the skin. You want to slowly warm it up and get yourself to some medical care. So that's scary stuff that happened to you. Any other advice that you have for us out in the cold weather?
I guess just to be patient. When you have to warm up. Everybody that does line work knows rubber gloves are going to freeze your hands, so you'll lose function, and losing function of your hands working on power lines is terrible.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Are you ready? Alright, I'm here with
Matt Roth from Branch 2.
Alright, so how do you deal with cold stress?
What I do with cold stress, some of the stuff that we do out here as a crew is we take breaks when it's very cold, obviously. Like to get a lot of nutrition in at night. Like to sleep very well. A lot of dress and layers as well. And main thing is drink a lot of water, stay hydrated throughout the day.
Thank you. Good tips.
All right, and we also have, what's your name?
Alex.
And what branch are you with?
2.
All right. Is there anything special you do when you're at gas stations, or is there any way that you can prepare food or anything like that to make sure that you're hydrated?
I just try to have a good diet and stay filled up, and I don't know, drink hot fluids, maybe eat some soup for lunch, just stay warm.
That's great advice. And did you know too, like at Quick Trip, they have those warm little water spigots that you can get some hot tea maybe, or you can even take a microwave break or use their microwave. Isn't that a great feature that some of those convenience stores have?
That's amazing.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, well, anything else you want to add today?
No.
Okay, thanks for your time.
Now I'm here with
Thomas Smith, Branch 7 Environmental.
So being outside a lot, how do you deal with cold stress?
Just making sure that I'm layered up for the day, and then as the day goes on, just taking off the layers so I can be more flexible when doing work.
Okay. Do you have any other tips on how to deal with cold stress?
Just making sure that you're stretching in the morning, and then just having that extra stretch so you're not feeling it at the end of the day.
Okay. Why do you think that's important?
when it's cold out, it's easier to pull any muscles or just really hurt yourself on accident, just with like trips, smalls, or just anything really.
Yeah, for sure. Got to get that blood flowing. Thank you, Toma. Okay. Now I'm here with
Adam Becker, Branch 7.
When you're getting ready in the morning, how do you prepare your crews not to get cold stress?
We take a look out a weekly ahead of time of the weather report, try to plan out accordingly to see which days are going to be the coldest, and if it's really cold in the morning, find tasks that you're not up in the air till the sun comes out, and then when you do got to work up in the air, then you switch guys out every couple hours so nobody's staying up there too long, and then using the dash on the truck in your benefit, keep gloves on there nice and warm, something to change your gloves out, and then keep your rubber gloves and sleeves on there as well.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, those are some great points. And as you know, getting in and out of buckets when you have lots of layers on or insulated bibs can be very stressful on the muscles, so I'm sure you take your morning stretch breaks as you always do. Is there any other tips that you add with any clothing, or what else do you do in particular?
Just layering up properly and making sure you're wearing the right size clothes for your body. Don't wear something too baggy or too tight, and then just stretching for all the extra clothing is all you really can do.
Is it true that you get most cold when your feet are cold and wet?
Yes, that is true. So if your feet get wet easy, then you might as well keep a pair of extra socks with. Otherwise, wear your ice cleats to keep your boots dry.
Oh yeah, it's a great reminder. Wearing Neos is important to keep everything dry and wet, or not wet. So make sure that if you haven't ordered your Neos yet, you and your crews are doing that. So, well, we appreciate your time very much. Do you stay in the cold very often? Are you inside the trailers like this?
I try to stay in the truck as much as I can, and if it's really cold out there, I just turn the seat warmer up. It's scary out there.
Okay. Thank you very much.